Welcome back, YouTubers, to our Over the Limit preview with none other than your dynamic dudes. It's the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Consisting of Mr. Parkin, me, and this guy sitting here, NJ.
What's up?
Try saying that 5 times fast. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment your thoughts going into Over the Limit down in that comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the link in the box below.
Indeed. So I think we should go straight into this, NJ. I don't really think we have too much to say about this pay-per-view because it feels like a filler pay-per-view, really, isn't it? The way WWE built it, you can't help but think with only 5 matches on the card and just the real lack of build we've had in some matches that it just has filler pay-per-view written all over it, doesn't it?
There are big matches we're getting, but just not been hyped up to feel like big matches, apart from little bits on the shows. But it does feel like an overall filler pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's really all we can say about Over the Limit. There's probably going to be some good matches on there, but it has a filler pay-per-view feel, and we're getting it for free on Sky Sports, so it doesn't really bother us. But for all you Americans who have to pay for it, I feel sorry for you, brothers. I'm just saying. But we're going to be getting a pre-show match. Zack Ryder versus Kane. It's a bit of a shame that Kane is in the pre-show match, and they're kind of reliving this whole Zack Ryder-Kane thing, which was really a subplot of a John Cena-Kane feud. I expect Kane to go over here, surely.
Kane's got to go over, but the thing about this match is that I don't really feel it's like a warm-up match for the pay-per-view. It's got no feel that this is a pay-per-view worthy match. So I'm looking at this thinking, yes, Kane's probably going to get the win, but I'm not overly excited about it. I'm going to watch it, but just not feeling it as an important match.
No, that's probably why it's on the pre-show. I do look forward to. I mean, the pre-show thing on YouTube, the 30-minute thing, is a pretty good addition. I do think that's good. It does help hype the pay-per-view like a Sunday Night Heat used to do. So the whole pre-show thing is a good idea. Kane versus Ryder, that'll be an all right match. Kane will probably win in 4 minutes or something. Do you reckon? Before we go into the 5 matches announced, we're going to get some filler matches, right? Ryback and Brodus Clay. Do you think those are going to be the filler matches? Maybe Santino versus Cody will get added to this card? Because there's only 5 matches. There's got to be more than 5 matches on this card.
Well, with Ryback now going against WWE wrestlers, I do want to see him get a pay-per-view match. Brodus Clay, again, he keeps losing direction, so I'm not really caring too much about him, but he will get a match. Santino and Cody, I'm not really sure if they should have a rematch of that match on the Go-Home show. At the same time, Cody does deserve a pay-per-view match, so why not? Yeah,
you might as well put Santino and Cody on there and give Cody a win, especially after Santino beat him in 2 minutes on SmackDown. So Cody will want revenge and try and restore prestige to that IC belt. The Divas Championship match. Layla versus Beth Phoenix. It's not really had the greatest of build, kind of like a lot of matches on this card, but Layla versus Beth Phoenix, that's a match that's a lot better than many of the other Divas matches we've had at pay-per-views before.
Very true. You've got 2 great Divas in a match against each other. The returning Layla, who deserves a longer match, and hopefully Beth will give it to her.
Yep.
And Beth Phoenix is obviously an ex-Divas champion, so she deserves to put on a quality match at pay-per-view. So we've got 2 good things in one.
Yep, and Layla should go over here. She's only just won the belt, so she should definitely go over here, shouldn't she?
She very much should, and there's been this whole rumour that Carmen's still meant to return, so every pay-per-view maybe there'll be a chance that she could surprise the return. But with this one, yes, it would make sense, because obviously it hints Beth Phoenix, because Beth Phoenix, if she loses this, her rematch is gone, so maybe Carmen should take advantage of this match. But if not, it'll be just a one-on-one match and Layla will retain. Yep,
they'll probably do the Karma return further down the line, but it'll be nice to see it over the limit. Or it would at least create some surprise at a filler pay-per-view, which we do expect at WWE pay-per-views at some point. There's a Tag Team Championship match on this card. When was the last time we had a Tag Team Championship match pre-announced between 2 kind of semi-legit tag teams on a card? I can't really remember. Awesome Truth versus Miz versus Kofi and Evan Bourne. I can't remember really. Can you?
No. It's a surprise that we're getting this, but the WWE are doing a bit better with their concentration on the tag team division. So for them to start booking a match, hopefully this is going to be an opening for the future. So in a way, I do have some negatives to say about this match, but I'm looking forward to it because it is the start of a tag team match going on to probably the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been built too fantastically or anything, but hell, we have a tag team match on a pay-per-view, and all 4 of these guys can work in the ring. So we should get a pretty good match out of these 4 guys, and I think Truth and Kofi Kingston will definitely go over here. And it's interesting what you say about the tag team division. There are, you've got Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the Usos. Happy Cohen Primo have got Abraham Washington. So there is some kind of resurgence of a tag team division right now, even if it's not being booked fantastic. At least we're seeing possibly maybe the start of a resurgence of the tag team division. Maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. Because obviously with new wrestlers coming in, maybe they can keep building it more and more up. And the thing I want to say about this match quickly is that Swag and Ziggler were against Bros Clay. So that's why I'm a bit disappointed in this, because they're moving feud to feud just to make the tag team have a big match at pay-per-view. So in a way, I'm a bit sad about that. But obviously, with Ziggler and Swagger needing a better movement in the WWE, they should go for this match.
Yep. So I expect Truth and Kofi to go over, and it should be a pretty good match, hopefully. The World Heavyweight Championship match is a fatal four-way on this pay-per-view. Was originally going to be Sheamus versus Del Rio, but I kind of think WWE lost their faith a little bit in their booking of Del Rio, as you can tell by the way they booked him. And they made it Sheamus versus Chris Jericho versus Alberto Del Rio versus Randy Orton, or, as we saw on SmackDown, Sheamus versus Orton, mainly, isn't it? From what we saw on SmackDown.
That is very sad, because we've got three big names and Del Rio, who I guess WWE want to make a big deal again, but it's not seeming to work. And I'm looking at this match thinking, yes, you've got four top SmackDown wrestlers, well, Jericho possibly going to SmackDown, all against each other, so it should be a good match. After we saw on the go-home show how Sheamus Orton performance good, Jericho there, good. Del Rio will probably eat the pin, giving Sheamus probably the win. Yeah,
I do expect Sheamus to go over here, and I think it'd be interesting to see whether they go with a Sheamus-Jericho feud after this, or a Sheamus-Orton feud, maybe turning Orton heel. It looks like, based on what we saw on the go-home show, they're more likely probably going to do a Sheamus versus Orton. But you've got Sheamus, Jericho, Del Rio, and Orton, four good workers in that match. So it should be a pretty decent match, despite the fact that they kind of had to change it at the last minute a little bit because of the Punk versus Bryan match, which I still think was a botch. From on the whole time limit thing, but should be a good match.
As much as it could have been a botch, I do like this match for the reason that when this match is over, we're probably going to get two different feuds out of this, or probably one different feud and the other two pair off do something else. So I'm liking how this match is going to probably have a good outcome for the SmackDown. We'll just have to see, but yeah, Sheamus should win, and it should be a good match.
So you don't see Jericho winning this at all?
Jericho, it would be good to give him the belt, and then obviously people try and beat him off it, but I don't think it's Jericho's time.
No, and it's a shame really. You brought Jericho back, and he hasn't really won a pay-per-view match or anything, and it's a shame really that they haven't really used him to maybe win a belt or even on his return anyway. But I guess he's done his main thing in putting CM Punk over, so it's kind of like, well, we might as well put Sheamus over using Jericho or Orton or whatever. So there we go. A match which I'm very much looking forward to, which I feel should have been built up a lot better and built to a bigger pay-per-view. Because of and it's CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. Now we saw this match 3 times on free TV already, which is a little bit of a shame because I think if that hadn't been the case and they built up to this properly instead of it making it feel like a filler match, I feel this could have been a really, really good feud. It's kind of just going to be a see who's the best feud, but hell, CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, we know they're going to put on a good match on this pay-per-view.
Very true. It is a bit of a shame that 3 times. The W's idea there was maybe overly done there. But they're looking at it now that the GMs are out the way, Jericho's out the way, so it's going to be a one-on-one match. We're going to get to see them perform all the way without any interferences, any stoppages, and we're going to get to see a great match between these two. Yes, with the match with these two, it should be a higher pay-per-view, but with the booking that these two are getting, it's not really screaming out main event yet, even if I want it to. But it's going to be an overall good match, and people who are Bryan CM Punk fans are really going to enjoy this match, that they're going to get a clean winner here.
Yeah, and this, as much as you guys out there maybe want the main event, and you want Punk and Bryan as the main event, it ain't going to be the main event. We all know why. It's because this match just isn't a massive draw, and you guys should know that out there. But it should be a pretty good, I mean, obviously these two can work rings around each other, maybe put on a great match. CM Punk should go over. I really wish this would have been made a bigger deal out of rather than just a filler match on a filler pay-per-view. That's all I'll say really. But we should get a good match out of these two.
And I don't really see Bryan winning this. As much as it would create a continuous feud, I think Bryan as a champion's had his time now. They'll probably give it a big space before he wins one of the big belts back again. And it's going to be a big win for CM Punk. But it'll be a quality match. There may be sometimes you think Bryan can win this. But I think Punk's going to get the overall win at the end.
Yes, and that leads us on to the main event, which whether you like it or not, is the main draw of this pay-per-view. On the go-home show on Raw, the Big Show segment drew 1 million viewers, so I think that showed us that this match is going to be the main event and the main draw. John Cena versus the GM of Raw and SmackDown, John Laurinaitis. If John Laurinaitis loses, he'll be fired, and no superstar or diva will be allowed to interfere, and if they do, they will be fired.
So
Thoughts?
basically, yes, that stipulation maybe weren't needed at the time, because when the match was first made, we thought, okay, that is what we want to see, and it can happen because of it's just a match there. Stipulations made it more, looks like it's leaning towards Cena getting the overall win, because Laurinaitis is screwed, but the fact that he's been an actual wrestler within the WWE, that's left the door open for returns, or people who've been fired. Yes.
Yeah, and the whole angle they're working with Big Show, like you said, obviously Johnny Ace fired him on Raw, and you kind of feel that with the whole angle they've been doing, and with the fact that it drew 1 million viewers in, that they're probably going to have Big Show return, and maybe John Laurinaitis uses him as he is fired to get his job back while helping him win the match, therefore he can continue being Raw GM. And I think John Laurinaitis will go over here. I really do. I think that is how they will do it, based on how they booked this storyline, based on how they booked Big Show and John Laurinaitis. So that's what I think will happen.
The big idea is, obviously, Big Show coming back and turning heel, or there's the chance that he will come back and help Cena win, and then obviously the next GM, or Triple H, will rehire Big Show. There's two ways of looking at how this match could go. Big Show is definitely a candidate to be in this match one way or another. There's also other wrestlers that are rumoured, like it could possibly be Batista, except for Batista and Cena feud.
Lesnar.
There's Lesnar, could be coming in just to help Laurinaitis out, and Triple H take advantage of that on Raw. There's other ideas of what can happen. So this match has got interest in it because of the stipulation, but yes, Cena's good at winning matches that he shouldn't do, and as much as I would like Laurinaitis to leave, I don't really want to see Cena winning a pay-per-view match after the one last pay-per-view he should have lost. So I'm going to say Laurinaitis should somehow find a way of winning this.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think they would have done this Big Show angle unless they were going to have him involved in the match. And I think Big Show will get involved and help John Laurinaitis, because he'll obviously want to get his job back, and he'll go any way to do what he loves doing, like he said on Raw. So that's how I feel it'll go down. John Laurinaitis will win, and they'll probably continue this going into No Way Out. So I don't think John Laurinaitis will get fired. But whether he does or not, it'll still give us a good angle going into Raw, which is why this really should be the main event, because you go from the pay-per-view to Raw, and it'll give us a good angle going into Raw to do with Johnny Ace as the GM.
So that is the thing, because obviously with this match has more direction in result, so I do see what's the main event. Obviously, with me personally, I would like to see Punk, if he's going to be the future of the company eventually, him to get better, but obviously it all depends on booking.
Really does, yeah. And you know, like I said, this is definitely going to be the main event, and it probably should be the main event based on viewership, and also based on, you know, the fact that it's got Cena in it, and this angle has been in the main event of pretty much every single show. So so there we go. So any more thoughts any more additional thoughts before we go on to our overall thoughts?
The stipulation matches, they're mainly just one-on-one matches, or the tag match, or the fatal four-way, so there's not many strong stipulations apart from the main event has a stipulation added, but overall, it does scream out filler, but giving us matches that we want to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way I can put it. I mean, in the main event, I just wanted to say this. This probably won't be a great match, but if Johnny Ace doesn't ace cutter, I'll be pretty fine with it. But there we go. Like overall, it doesn't look like it's like Sacrifice. It wasn't really greatly built up or anything, but we got some good matches on here which could deliver on the pay-per-view, and that's essentially what matters at the end of the day. So this could end up being a somewhat good filler pay-per-view if things are booked correctly, which we feel that really has to happen. So although it looks a bit bleak on the surface, and this does feel like a filler pay-per-view, the same thing with Sacrifice really, and that ended up being a very good pay-per-view. So you never know. This could spring a surprise or two. We could get some good matches in there, and it could be a good filler pay-per-view. And I'm just going to put that out there.
All I'm saying is that it's got matches that I'm looking forward to, but overall, the booking for the match that we're getting hasn't really been overly strong. Hasn't really got me thinking, this match is obviously worthy of this pay-per-view, but overall, it could surprise us, which I think every pay-per-view should do. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah, and we get it on Sky Sports for free, brother. Ka-ching indeed. Ka-ching, we didn't spend no money on it, brother. So basically, guys, give us your thoughts and comments going into Over the Limit down in that comment section below, as we said at the beginning of the video. And now we've approached the end of the video. You know what time it is. It's NJ time. Shoot it.
Well, people, thank you very much for tuning to this video. From Mr. Parkin, me, NJ, and Little Jimmy. Until next time, people, goodbye.